Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Relentless Talk Radio. I think I might wear these around the house all the time now.
It's a very cheerful thing.
It's very cheerful, right? You can't be grumpy when you have like these kind of things on. So I'm going to put my little lights on here so you guys can see me better. So welcome back to Relentless Talk Radio. This week's Digital Evolution, an entrepreneur's guide to evolving online. Every first and third Thursday at 9 o'clock or so. Sometimes we adjust because we're entrepreneurs and we have to do that sometimes. But every first and third Thursday at 9 o'clock, Brandy and I talk everything digital evolution. We're using me as the guinea pig because, if you guys know me, I'm constantly evolving. And I'm sure you are too. So this week we're talking about YouTube and TikTok. And actually, I'm excited for this conversation, Brandy, because you know that YouTube has been, I'm going to move my notes over here. YouTube has been one of the things that I really have been wanting to increase my subscribers on this year. And like I was kind of joking in my pre-live personal, hey, we're going live video. I've kind of morphed 2020 and 2021 together as far as my business goals. Have you done that?
No, I'm still doing a separate year planning for 2021, and I'm finishing out 2020 as its own entity. I mean, that's kind of just what worked for me, but I think it's good to say just whatever works for you.
I wanted to have my subscribers up to 20,000 by the end of 2020. But, life has been in session all flipping a year long between COVID and my dad passing and just, we've all been kind of doing the best we can. So I'm not going to reach 20,000 subscribers by December unless some flipping miracle happens. But my goal is to be by 20,000 by the end of next year now. I've had to
but
investing.
Let's talk about you have increased your subscribers. So yeah.
On YouTube, little.
So
I'm getting a lot of views. I've had about 12,000 views, which I'm not embarrassed about.
Well, and so
they're not subscribing. So we have to convert them.
So, but let's talk about why this is a goal of yours. What would 20,000 use? Why did you choose 20,000 YouTube subscribers? What would that mean? What is the significance of that?
I think I originally chose 20,000 because it was 2020. I like a lot of numbers, right? But I also think that I watched my friend Tim Collins, who has FTA Adventures. He's a motorcycle adventurist as well, and he went from 6,000. He went from 1,000 to 6,000 pretty quick, and then from 6,000 to 20,000. Now I think he's got 40. I haven't checked today, but he's got a significant amount of people that are following him. And what I really am working on this year in every area of my business is creating residual income.
Mm-hmm.
And with YouTube, I have about 150 episodes on YouTube, and it's all great content. And I want to get a check every month from YouTube. I'd like to get checks from YouTube. I want to get checks from the podcast channels that I work with. Anchor FM is going to be my tool for my podcast, but I also want to get checks from Spotify, from iHeartRadio. I want to get checks every month from everywhere. Really.
Okay. So the growing the subscribers means you can then have advertising on that channel, which would then result in, we'll call it mailbox money.
Right. Okay. FTA Adventures has 58,000 subscribers as of this morning, and he's my good friend, and I just love him. I'm so happy that he's gotten that. But it's fascinating to have watched that, and I want to have that happen to me. But I know the first 20,000 was a pinnacle point for him. Once he got past the 20,000, it was easy to get to 58.
Okay, so then let's dial it back for a second, then we'll go back. So YouTube in your current overall marketing, what was the role of YouTube?
So originally, when I first started using YouTube, it was a place to house the interviews for my Art of Fearlessly Doing Business and my Art of Fearlessly Giving Back interviews, so that I could have a YouTube that people could watch in the gallery when they were viewing my artwork. It was also a way for the people that I was interviewing to share their why with their market. I wasn't really concentrating on subscribers at that point. For me, YouTube was a relationship builder.
So I think this is an important point about YouTube. So when people go to put videos online, I've had so many people be like, I'm trying to upload this video to my website. I'm like, please, for the love of God, do not do that. Yeah. But people don't understand. So YouTube is a great platform for hosting videos.
Right. without using the bandwidth on your website, which is going to slow everything down and make everybody crazy.
Yeah. Yes. So besides,
it was linked in my blog. It was linked in people's email marketing. It was a way for people to get their why out.
right. So a great way to host it so that it can be used multiple places and referenced back later. So YouTube as a platform is a great place to host videos that you want to use multiple places or have multiple people use. Like if you're trying to keep your videos private, Vimeo is a better platform, but YouTube sort of has this dual role. You can just use it as a great video hosting platform because you've got videos that you are getting out into the world in other ways.
Right.
And then it's also the world's second largest search engine. Like that is where people go to get information. And so you can then use it as its own distribution channel.
Right. And one of the reasons why you and I and Scott Yang started to do educational-based interviews like this is because one of the things, the most searched things on YouTube are educational how-to things.
Mm-hmm.
So initially, YouTube was used purely as a place to house the video. And you know what, even if people don't click on it, when I send my email marketing and there's a video, they see there was a video. I was just having this conversation with Brent Kleinman, who asked me to speak at Glendale Community College yesterday about social media messaging. Like, sure, you know. And he was talking about email marketing. And I think it's the same thing with YouTube. Your goal isn't necessarily to have the people click and read. Your goal is for people to see that you're active and you're producing content and it's interesting. And then if they choose to click and read, great. But if you just send out a benign email without any links to anything that has nothing dynamic to it, people are like, you know. I used your messaging and your subject line in your email as an example yesterday in Glendale Community College. Because your message that you're getting across, I just happened, thank you very much for including DigitalEvolution on your email this week. I didn't know that. I was like, great, that's awesome. I had
worked nicely.
But you know what? Every time you send an email, I see your name in my email box and I think, oh, there she is. I just remember that there's Brandy. Now you and I are in contact regularly, so I know where you are and what you're doing. But if we weren't in contact regularly, so even if I did click on the email and I opened it up, I would see that you're doing a podcast. I would see that you've had DigitalEvolution because you've got your links from YouTube, which dynamically populate your thumbnail, which you want to be meaningful. That's one of the most time-consuming things I do with Relentless Talk Radio is create the thumbnails because the thumbnails are important. The thumbnail is the picture that you see when you share a YouTube.
Right. Okay. So YouTube has sort of gone from being just a place to host your videos and to now you want to grow it into a distribution channel and eventually make it a revenue stream when you get enough subscribers to your content that YouTube wants to advertise on them.
Well, in the nature of good, better, best, which is one of my favorite things about you because that's how I think. I always knew I wanted to monetize YouTube, but you can't monetize YouTube unless you put content into YouTube. So the first thing you have is like a shit ton of content in there. And then you need to make sure that I would say in a perfect world, you'd make sure your keywords were aligned, but I think your keywords are going to change too. So I'm actually looking for an SEO partner who wants to share the profit for my YouTube advertising for going through all of my videos and updating all of the content so that the keywords are in the right place. And if they can get me to 20,000, I'll split, up the profit for the first year. So if you're an SEO person, let me know.
So I think this is a good point about video content. So we've seen a rise in video content because it's engaging. It's a great way to make a connection. You can see and hear, there's so much great things about video content. The downside to video content is that the robots can't understand it. The robots don't know what you're saying in a video. And so it becomes just critically important that you have the captions and you have the description created for your YouTube videos or even on social media. The thing that was evolving with my videos is that captions are so painful sometimes. Now, YouTube will auto-generate captions when you upload. And so if anyone ever turns on closed captions, YouTube provides captions, which is a really nice thing. Now they're 90%. They're pretty good. They're not perfect. They're pretty good. But when you have it on any other platform, like if you've watched a video on Instagram or a Facebook, how often do you turn on the sound? Because for me, like
Never. Because you when you're scrolling in a place where you can't, you're watching TV with your husband or partner and you don't want to get caught actually not paying attention.
So captions are critical for consumption of videos.
And I've been more conscious of doing it on Facebook, but you're right. When I should have my admin who's loading my videos turn on captions on YouTube.
Yes. Oh, because YouTube will auto-generate them. So make sure that you've got that turned on for auto-generating YouTube captions.
Yeah.
So YouTube, there's several things. So there's the thumbnail, which you alluded to. The thumbnail is the picture that gets displayed when the video is not playing. And that is what captures people's attention, and it needs to give them a sense of what's in the video. Now, YouTube will grab some screenshots and make them available for you, but none of them have text on them. None of them will tell them the topic. I actually, for our thumbnails, I tell my team to grab the picture of me looking most ridiculous in the video, like the most ridiculous face I can make, grab that and make the thumbnail with that.
Yeah, actually, we talked about that last week. We just try to do it. If Facebook will catch it. Facebook and social media has got me completely over vanity. Okay.
Right.
Because I'm not as rested today as I'd like to be. I was up late last night. I have 3 workouts that I have to get in today, which is going to by tomorrow I'm look a little crappy. Yeah, I had my leg workout this morning. And then I'm going to do hot yoga at 4:30 with a friend who we've moved that appointment several times. I can't move it. And I'm doing Krav Maga at Phoenix Krav Maga tonight because I wasn't able to get up there fast enough last night to get to that class. So yeah, I will be basically beat to crap by the end of the day. And I'll look like this tomorrow too. So what are you going to do? It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is.
So we've got the thumbnail, the captions, the description. So this is the other place where we want to talk about how people discover things on YouTube is they type in a search, right? So knowing what people are looking for and the way that they're looking for it. I think this is often the disconnect between a content creator and someone who's looking for that content is how we talk about it.
And here's the other thing. I've had in the nature of good, better, best, I've had to weigh out, okay, I'm one person.
Right.
I have 24 hours in a day. I'm a bikini competitor, so I got to be in the gym. I've got to eat. I have to pee. Although I do work while I'm peeing, I admit, with my phone. Do you? Right? 100%. So there's only so many hours in a day. So my first initial attention for YouTube is to dump the content in there and then come back later and clean it up. Because I have a template that has the same thing every week for my regular episodes, and I just put the names of people in. Now I need to go back in and do some more copy. But if I had to choose between how much revenue generating activity is this activity of redoing that copy going to make me right now? And does it make sense for me to put that copy in now? Or does it make sense for me to put it in later when I'm pushing to increase it? So in the nature of good, better, best, I haven't been as keyword sensitive so far. But you know what's going to happen? Once I go back in and put all those keywords in and I put captions on, it's going to be easy this is my story. It'll be easier, let's hope, that my YouTube following will increase because I have, 150 videos as opposed to 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. So and each platform, as we've discussed, each platform has its own nuances. And there's it's the 80-20 rule, right? So there's this effort to get things set up, the good. There's a lot of effort to get to the good. And then there's this other effort to get up the next level. So you started out hosting videos on YouTube. So you got the content up there. Now you're evolving how you want to use it. So then you're evolving how the content, you're going back and editing and adding descriptions and adding captions and adding categories. So these are just things to be aware of so that you made conscious choices.
Right.
That's all we can ask of ourselves as business owners, is to make conscious choices. Now, if you're posting for the first time and you've got a process in place, or you're getting transcripts, like say that you're like how I was using my videos is I would do a 2-minute video and then we would get a transcript and then a blog post would get created. Well, if we have a freaking transcript already and we're posting to YouTube, then post the transcript in the description. Like if we already have it, great. If we need to come back later, also fine. But see, like you've got all of your videos here.
So here's an example of something I haven't done yet. I have to create a playlist for Relentless Biker.
Yeah.
Because I just started doing Relentless Biker. So this is another thing that's good, because another reason why I chose YouTube was because when I was at my shows, I could go to the playlist for let's see, the Art of Fearlessly Giving Back series, right?
Mm-hmm.
The entire playlist, and these are all the videos that were in that series. Now, if I hit play, they would play on a stream on a loop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And then while I was in the studio, people could be listening to the interviews. So it's funny. I have a friend of mine that a colleague of mine who looked at my YouTube, was like, "Oh, you have no following." I'm like, "Well, my following is mostly on Facebook, but I've been using YouTube in a different way so far."
Right.
This playlist has been one of the most important things about YouTube, is because it's a constant, and we have a playlist for DigitalEvolution too.
Right.
Where people can go and learn all of the episodes that we've had here.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of reasons to use YouTube. One of them is to get subscribers, but it's not the only reason.
It's not the only way. It's not the only reason. So yes, being clear about your intention then helps you make those informed decisions about how you're using it.
Right. And having the thumbnails was another like learning curve, because if you look back at my videos, here's thumbnails for, so I've got a crap ton of content in here. I've interviewed over 300 people in the past couple of years. But if you go to the beginning of my YouTube presence, okay, which we're coming up on here soon. See, I got a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah.
And it actually stops there. It doesn't even show every single one of my videos. I have to figure out why that is. But I'm going back and I'm making sure that all of the videos I've done have thumbnails. So one by one, I'm doing replays on Relentless Talk Radio once or twice a month, where I can get the thumbnails that weren't done from interviews from 2015 up. And it's also a way to retouch the people that I have relationships with, because I retagged Eli Hall the other day and he goes, "Wow, thanks," So you're keeping those relationships alive.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we've talked about YouTube. We've talked about how you started using it, how you're using it now. We talked about the different aspects of YouTube. So TikTok, it feels like about every 2 years, there's some sort of new short video app platform that pops up, and then stuff happens with it. So what's been your exposure experience with TikTok?
So my dear friend, Alyssa Glotz, hey Alyssa, has a book called Color My Credit, and she is killing it on TikTok. And I just love watching her do that. She's sold 1,700 books this year. She's just done like tremendous things. I think it's a great platform for her because she's super flippin' funny, and she used to work for Comedy Central, so she's hilarious. Okay, so if you haven't followed her, please do. She's hilarious. But for me, it's another one of those, like, where does my time, I'm looking at TikTok on my phone here. Where does my time, how much time do I have? And is that really where my, is that really where my people are?
Right. Right. So here's early adopters on a platform. Like when a new platform comes up, lots of people jump on because they want to be one of the first.
Right.
And sometimes there's advantages to that. I know a guy who does high level search engine optimization,
Right.
who jumped on TikTok and has built a huge following. And I'm like, just that didn't really make any sense because he's mostly B2B and he's on TikTok and it's working. How, what? But
Is it working for him?
Yes, it's working for him. He's built a big following and he does TikTok videos regarding search engine optimization. I was just
So
like,
this is Alyssa, and she's got 305,000 followers.
Nice.
I'll play one of her videos just randomly. Let's see this one because it just looks funny.
Awesome, you did? You got approved for that apartment? Really? How much is the rent? And when's the rent due every month? Is there a fee for the late rent payment if you make a payment late? How long's the lease? How much notice can they give you if they want to raise that amount? I mean, do you need to get renter's insurance? Did they say anything about that? Are there any utilities or any other services like included in that rent amount?
And this is like, one of her more serious ones. Let me find one where she's. She's hilarious.
Nice.
She's hilarious. So for her, it's worked great, and I'm super proud of her because and I think that I'll probably add a TikTok for the Relentless Bikers or Biker Chicks Unite. I'm probably going to have us both do a TikTok from a parking lot.
Oh, I think you should just call it TikTok from a parking lot.
That actually might be a cool thing to call it.
TikTok from a parking lot.
I wish I could find one of her seriously funny ones because she's just hilarious. But I think it's important for you to know who your demographic is and what your point is. But also, it's a bandwidth thing for me.
Well, and that like you cannot be all the places. And if you have channels that are working well, so like this guy with the SEO stuff, he didn't necessarily already have a very established channel. Like he had worked a lot with referrals and he didn't really have an established channel. So when TikTok came along, like that became his main channel. Yeah. So like you already have a very established Facebook channel. We've talked about that.
Yeah. And my Relentless Biker shows right now are getting 20,000 impressions and between 3,000 and 5,000 views. I'm only on episode 2 on those. But I had to build the following personally and with Relentless Talk Radio and then build my biker following personally to be able to have that happen. And also to join like multiple Facebook groups, right? So now I've got influencers and people that want me to influence for them reaching out proactively. And that was the whole goal. It takes a long time to get there. You don't just start talking and people start listening. You have to kind of, and I'm evolving all the time as such digital evolution. I'm constantly evolving and learning something new, right? Mm-hmm. So, and we spoke about last week that really LinkedIn is going to be taking up a lot of my time over the next 3 months or so. I'm really going to be pumping up the business part of building my Choose Healthy Change Agent team. Okay. So TikTok, I want to do it, but I want to do it when I have time to really enjoy it too. That's the other thing. Like, this is my life. I'm this crazy worker bee, and I want to make sure the things I do, I'm enjoying. And if you're too rushed, I was talking with I just had an addition to my tattoo. Let's see, can you see it?
Yep.
This tattoo was added. And I was talking with Ernie, and of course Ernie's last name, gone out of my head right now. But Ernie, the owner of Top Rocker Tattoo in Peoria. And he said, you know what, I book things so I have enough time to relax. And I'm starting to, I'm 53. I've been running around with my hair on fire for a long time. I had various levels of success here and there. And I just don't want to be any more crazy than I already am. And I'm crazy.
Yeah. And I think enjoyment. So here's the other thing about TikTok is that the people who like love the platform, that shows. Like, I think that has something to do with their following. So if it,
example of that,
right, if it feels forced, if it doesn't feel fun, then like it's always very nuanced. So try something new, give yourself an opportunity. But if you don't love it, why do it?
You know, and it's also like I have one of my influencer clients is so focused on YouTube, right? Because that's he's not on Facebook. Okay. He doesn't have a personal account on Facebook. So I'm like, how can you be the marketing director of a company and not have a personal account on Facebook? I don't understand. But he doesn't. So his reference point is only this way. And I think some people are that way about TikTok, like or LinkedIn or whatever. It's just this way. But you know, you have to choose the platform where you feel like getting the most traction and put your time into that as opposed to spreading yourself too thin. When I was talking with the kids over at the students, the college kids, because I'm old now, I can say kids. Like I hate it when people do that to me. Sorry, guys, I'm an idiot. but what I was saying is that, you know, you only have so much time in the day, and you need to focus on what you can focus on and not overextend yourself more than you're already going to be, because there's only 24 hours in a day. But TikTok is definitely something, but the next time we have a TikTok update, I'll probably have some type of TikTok experience of my own.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other point about this is that I think we all can give ourselves permission to play around. Like the reason YouTube Reels exists.
I'm not talking about the married people don't need to be cheating.
We're talking about marketing channels. But like the Instagram Reels, like those exist because of TikTok. Like so, it's okay.
LinkedIn has stories now, but do they have they have live? Do they have any kind of TikTok related thing that going on?
No, they are just getting stories. So I'm guessing it'll be another 18 to 24 months. If TikTok's still around, then maybe LinkedIn might add something like that.
If TikTok's still around, but you know what? Let's talk about this. TikTok's got a little bit of a bad rap with the government. Like if you are a government employee, they don't allow you to have TikTok because this whole China connection.
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't care enough to really dig deep, but yes, apps are worldwide. Internet is worldwide. So there's the company has a base or a presence out of China. So there's all this brouhaha around it.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to consider. I can't, like, I'm trying to remember the name of the short video apps that came before, and I can't even come up with the names of what they were. Can you remember?
Right. Got it. There's so much going on. I mean, there really is. Every day.
I can't even remember.
It's hard even to be an expert anymore because it changes every day.
Yeah.
You know, 100%.
I'm like, I will be the first to say I'm not a TikTok expert. In fact, like I don't even consume the content on TikTok. Like I put it on my phone. I looked at it. I was like, meh.
Well, I haven't gotten there yet because it's just there's only so many hours in the day. But I will. And the people that are TikTok experts that are saying that it's the next best thing think we're idiots right now for saying what we're saying, which is I'm okay with that.
Well, again, like if your audience is there, if this is you want to try this channel, people are having success. Like it is a viable channel that's new. So, you know, things change. Also, like even though Facebook has been around, like Facebook is the grandfather of social media at this point, it could still go away tomorrow.
Facebook's going away. No, it's not. Cut it out. Shut up. It's totally not going away.
People keep claiming that email is dead. Email is almost 50 years old. It's not dead. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's still a very important thing. Well, I think that because of the quick change of technology now, people want to think that things are just going to go away. And what was MySpace? Gone, right? Or is it gone?
Well, yeah. Well, I think it's still there, but it's not necessarily relevant.
Right.
But I really wish I could come up with the name of those short video apps that were out not all that long ago, but they had a very short life because basically their functionality got gobbled. It's where we got stories from. Like stories were not the invention of Facebook or Instagram. Stories came along because of these two other Dang it. Apps.
Well, let me talk about something that'll come to you as I talk, right? I also was saying yesterday to the kids in Glendale is that nothing's original.
Oh, yeah.
So like my art, which is behind me, right, is influenced by all of the artists that I've known and studied and been around. Creativity is organic and it bounces off each other. So social media is a perfect example. This app that we can't even remember influenced Instagram, which is influencing LinkedIn, which is influencing Facebook. Like
Right, exactly.
It's an interesting thing. So if everything that we just said sounds like complete gobbledygook to you and you have zero clue what the hell we're talking about, Brandy and I are open to do a consultation with you. Just go to meetwithmick.com and choose, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and scroll to the bottom and choose a free consultation with Brandy and I. We'll take a look at your social media. We'll translate what the hell we just said to you a little bit in relation to what you're doing. And we'll give you a 45-minute talk about, what we could do next, maybe how Brandy can help you. So definitely go to meetwithmick.com and check that out. We try to give you a tool every month, every week, every time we speak.
Vine. It was called Vine.
Oh, so happy. Oh, don't you feel better that would have driven you crazy? Vine, V-I-E-N?
Yeah, it was called, there was a Vine and there was like one other that had the short video clip, and they are not around anymore because basically Instagram added stories and made it moot. Sorry.
It was launched in January 2013 as a free app for Apple users. There's an Android version launched later on after that. And wow, it's pretty crazy. Divine shot. I didn't even, oh, you know what? Now that I'm seeing the logo, I remember it. Yeah.
Oh, and Periscope. Vine and Periscope were
In
like
December 2000, I remember Periscope. 2015, Vine had 200 million active users.
Yeah. And then,
Isn't that crazy? Let's see, competitors. Okay, so see also TikTok Byte, B-Y-T-E. That's another one that I don't know a lot about, but
I'm sorry, I completely derailed us, but I was like, there it is. I could not come up with it.
No, that's totally cool. And TikTok is much younger than Vine as a predecessor. It was introduced a year after Vine's inception, but exploded in popularity in the 2010s. And years after Vine app was shut down, the years after the Vine app was shut down, so they shut it down. Huh.
Yep.
Huh.
Okay, so app.
Yeah.
Speaking of apps.
Which, what I was thinking about, I'm thinking all the time. I wake myself up thinking. Do you do that? Like I'm thinking in my sleep, and I literally say out loud to myself in the morning, like, you're not fooling anybody. You are not sleeping. Get up. So I was thinking about how we are using all of these episodes for a platform that we're building called Go Digital Faster. And because we're having to delay the launch of that till next year, we're probably going to have to go through each one of these videos and check to make sure the apps that we've suggested are still viable.
I think we can just make a note at the end, because the apps totally come and go, but if the app is no longer, you can still use it as a reference point to be like, what is the what's the Vine of 2021?
What's the Vine of whatever. So this one this week is Big View for scripts, teleprompter, captions, and posting. Oh.
Big View. So Big View, I think is how they call it. It's BIGVU.
Yeah.
It was recently on AppSumo, and I ended up buying it for the teleprompter aspect. So I'm moving from videos to podcasts, but I'm still doing some video series, and I'm still going to be doing like trailer videos for the podcast every month. So what Big View allows you to do is to write a script on your computer and then send it to your mobile device. So either your phone or your tablet.
There's 10% off
AppSumo
purchase right now. Okay.
There you go. So then you can send your script to your phone or your tablet, and it will do it. It will act as a teleprompter, and it's pretty good. I really enjoyed doing it with the teleprompter. Then once your video is done,
super cool.
Once your video is done, you then send it basically up to their cloud, so it goes back to the desktop. where you can have it add your captions. So it will auto-generate your captions. If you've got a script, it basically pulls the script in for your captions. Then you can correct, and then it spits out a video with the text embedded. So instead of having a separate caption file, the text actually is embedded on the video, which is the only way you can actually get captions to show up on Instagram, is to have the text on the video.
So it's $69 one-time purchase for the single feature, and then that's pretty cool because that's not going to last forever.
No, no. I did all of our videos for October. So I recorded all of my videos using the teleprompter, and then edited all of the videos in their big view, adding all of our captions for October. It had a little bit of a learning curve, and I was not successful in adding my intro in their editor. Their editor is great for the captions. So I basically did all the captions in their editor, exported the video, then put my intro on it, and we published them. But this is the best way I've found so far to get the captions embedded in the video.
Awesome. And so here's an example of YouTube embedded into a website, by the way.
Right, exactly.
Right? Love it.
So yeah, if you've ever wondered how people are getting captions on their videos in Instagram, it's because the video file itself has them in it.
So I've just started loading to Instagram television. So now I'm going to have to add another thing there eventually once I have a team of people, because although I love this idea, it's going to go into the better category as opposed to the good category. But yeah, I love that you're doing it, and I love that it's possible. And geez, I just have to clone myself. I really do. But that's where I'm at with my business right now, where I'm in that delicate place between cloning myself, hiring more people. I have one admin right now working with me. That's awesome. I hired a bookkeeper. Great. You know what I mean? But first, buy more nutritional products for me, people, so I can move that needle just a little bit to the left, so I can do more in other areas. Could you? Yeah, the people out there. So that's our story today. We're sticking to it.
That's it.
Yeah. So next week we're talking about what?
But no, we're not going to talk about it until November, right?
We're talking about, let's see. Oh shoot, I closed my Trello board. Do you have yours open?
I do, and I can go find out that next. Oh, that's right. Next time we're going to be talking about Twitter, just as I think it's going to be a really interesting time for Twitter.
You think? How come?
It's going to be the first week of November.
Good point. Because only Trump uses Twitter. I think they wake up in the middle of the night and do drunk tech twittering.
Honestly, personally, I've been avoiding Twitter mostly, just because I have a few people on there. I have a little community on there that's pretty active, but otherwise,
Twitter is a lagging indicator for me too, but I'll be interested to hear what, this will be interesting because you'll have to do a little research with the election. It's actually good timing. And, yeah.
It's going to be a very interesting week to talk about Twitter.
I think I might wear these again.
I think you should.
Yeah. I have some other cool things that I need to wear. Well, Brandy, I appreciate your time.
Yes.
You have a fantastic flipping day.
You also. It's always a fun conversation.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This has been episode 15 of Digital Evolution, an Entrepreneur's Guide to Evolving Online. This is Relentless Talk Radio. It's Michelle Micalizzi and Brandy Lawson talking about my evolution online, and hopefully you can use that to your benefit. So thanks a lot, everybody. See ya.